Welcome to In Between, in the show where we discuss about your in-between moments in your career, in your life, anything that is going on in your struggles. We just discuss about it, and we meet with different people with all walks of life. I'm your host, Grace Kipasa, and today I have a very special guest to me and to most of you ladies out there. A period in your life, you either will need her, or you've already used her, or someone like her. And the great thing about having her today is that we share the same name. Her name is Grace Seri, originally from the Ivory Coast, and she is the owner and founder of Graciously Yours, which is a wedding coordinator, decoration, the whole nine that I know I need. How are you, Grace? Welcome to In Between.
Thank you, Grace. I'm doing good today. Thank you for having me.
We're going to have this weird moment. We're going to be like, Grace, thank you, Grace. You're Grace. So everybody get used to it. We do share the same name. Her name is Grace Seri. I'm Grace Kipasa. So if you hear us going Grace and Grace, well, it's just unfortunate, which is a good thing, right? So how are you doing today? How you good?
I'm feeling good.
You're feeling good?
I'm very good.
So talk to me about Graciously Yours, because I know, and a lot of ladies out there, how important it is to plan a wedding. But amongst us Africans, we try to be a little bit thinking that we can do it on our own and we do not need a wedding planner and, the whole nine. So how does it work in your business? What do you do? Tell us a little bit what you do, where you are at, and kind of what you have coming up.
Okay, so pretty much what I've had in the past is, like you said, a lot of African clients.
Yes.
And yes, you're very right about this. Everybody believes that they can do it themselves.
On their own.
On their own, yes. So most of the time I get in last minute and I realize that there's a couple of things that we need to go over and then the planner gets in.
Yeah.
So initially people contact me for Grace the Decorator. It's like, oh, can you come and decorate my wedding and stuff like that? And then we get into okay, there's much more than
just
what I thought it was gonna. Yes.
Right.
So and then the event planning comes in.
Okay. Okay. So obviously you said a lot of, being that you're originally from the Ivory Coast,
Yes.
so a lot of the clients that you do have are Africans.
Yes.
That's already a struggle within itself. Because I've dealt with a lot of brides and in different ways, being that I also do MCs in weddings and you just kind of see how the wedding process goes. How great, I could say, or how difficult is it to work with Africans?
Okay, so it's rewarding though. Let me start with that. It's very rewarding. Being from Africa, it's rewarding to actually be able to work with my sisters and share my expertise with them,
Right.
if I can say. But of course, it's challenging. And I mean no harm. But it is challenging because we know where we're from. We have certain rules, or we have ways that we think things should go when we live in a different world where things don't actually go the way that we anticipated them to go.
Okay.
So that's the biggest challenge, I'm not gonna lie, because we want to stick with, okay, I want this person to do this. Well, this person is not on the program.
Right.
This person is not
Last
doesn't share
minute
your vision.
changes.
Exactly.
Yes, those throw
You
in
name
the
it.
spices and
Yes.
Do you ever run into, let's say, and I have to bring this up because it's so funny, where they feel as if, or they don't, not that they don't value your work, but they have to they're just not willing to pay, but then they want you to give them everything. But they're not willing to pay for it. But before we continue, because this is the good part, okay? So we'll be right back, where Grace and I will go deep into details how wedding coordinating goes when you're dealing with our people that we love so much. We'll be right back. Welcome back to In Between, and we were talking with Grace Seri about her business that I cannot wait until I start planning mine. Grace does a lot of things with weddings, and Grace, we were talking about the struggles, and I keep laughing because when we took a break, we were talking about how we deal with our people when it comes to finances and how they want to bargain to get your prices to be to where it fits their budget, but then they require you to give them all of your service. How does that work when you deal with those type of things?
All right. So, first of all, this is a passion for me.
Okay.
So, I don't really see money. I see more like realizing what they're envisioning.
Okay.
So, I try as much as I can to let them know that, hey, this is what I have in sight for you. This is the vision that I have for your wedding.
Right.
Let's try to get to it. So we're trying to fight a little bit with the budget. Trying to raise it. If we can, we do. If we cannot, then we have to do whatever we have to do.
But Grace, what I don't understand is you're in finance, you work in finance and accounting, and you went to school with it. Where is the connection from in your life? You have a corporate job where you work, 8 to 5 in finance, and then your passion, you find it in weddings and decoration. I don't see the connection. Why finance and weddings? What happened?
Okay, so there's really no connection. It's very obvious.
Not right.
There's very known. I grew up in an African home, and the vision that our parents have for our future is really for their kid to go to school and get a degree in a. There is some degrees that they wouldn't even consider,
right?
So finance. I was good at math, so finance was one of the that I had more interest into. So that's how I got into finance. But this has been a passion for me since I was a kid. I actually started doing events when I was 9.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. So how, and this goes to our parents, because I believe, Grace, you're also a mother of one. Mm-hmm. And what should we, don't you feel as if that did you waste your time when you were going to school? You should have probably went to school and learned more about event planning and what were your feelings? Where do you stand right now that you've truly found yourself in your passion in decorating?
Okay, well, as an African woman, and I always call myself a strong one, I don't think that I actually wasted my time in school.
Okay.
I would have, though, probably went with a different field. As a matter of fact, I actually went back to school to take some marketing classes, because I feel like this draws closer to what I'm doing. Okay. So I think what I would have done is still, went ahead and got an education because that's what I wanted to do,
right.
But more in the field that gets very closer to what my passion is. So I think at some point we need to tell our African parents, to let the kids not decide, but let them choose what they really want to do, and you can always help them and guide them through it.
Right, and kind of help them find a way to get to where they need to be. What were some of the struggles that you encountered as you are building this empire that I would love to call it, graciously yours? What were some of the things that just popped up? Because it's not a switch and bake. Nope. You do not wake up and sleep and you have 20 brides. What were some of the things that you struggled to in order to accomplish or building this company that you're building?
Okay. You mean things that I'm going through?
So they're still there. So things that you are going through.
So things that I'm going through.
Yes, what are some of the things that you're going through?
So to tell you the truth, it is a fun industry.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's rewarding and people are enjoying themselves and stuff like that. But the way I conduct myself in real life is how I want to also conduct my business. So I wanted to be structured. So of course it didn't come with, I just wake up one day and say, this is it, I'm doing it. It had, there were steps that I had to put in. So I started with just throwing my own events, like my birthday parties and stuff like that, like I said, since I was a little kid. And of course, when I decided to officially go into business, that was back in 2016, 15 as a matter of fact, with Graciously Yours, I started looking for clients. So this alone was the most difficult one because there's a trust that it doesn't exist because people have never seen you done any professional job,
of course.
So so it started with like small gigs here and there, and of course the biggest hurdle that I had was a financial hurdle. Now, when I say financial, people
Right.
will think, okay, what do you need money for? No, it's not just about money. It's because I needed equipment.
Oh, okay.
You know, and
Okay.
of course, if you have plenty of money, you just have it, you know,
Right.
and you get all the equipment that you want.
Right.
But of course, I wanted equipment of my own. That's what I was aspiring to, because Graciously Yours is a signature.
Okay.
It's something that I don't want you to be able to find somewhere else. So I want to have my own things, you know. So
Okay.
you might see a lot of things over and over and over in all my decoration. Yeah, that's because Graciously Yours.
So that's your little thing. That's your logo. That's your thing that you have going
Yes,
on.
exactly.
But Grace, decoration is so expensive. Oh my gosh, I've heard people plan wedding and put $10,000 budgets for flowers for like 5 hours. Where? How? Why? I mean, I just have to ask, why? Why is it so expensive for the materials that for 5 hours? I don't get it. Like, why?
Okay, well, you know, depending on the event.
Right.
But let's talk more about weddings. For me, as a Christian, I believe that once you get married, you get married for forever.
Right.
You know, so this is a celebration of a union between two people. So even though that moment is only 5 hours, it's supposed to be a symbolism of what your life is going to be forever.
Eternal.
So you want to have the best of the best there for you. Just like, let me just take it a little bit back. I mean, back to the African side. Let's say,
Right.
you know, I think I'm trying to put in right wording here. So when you're doing those, I'm sorry, I wasn't raised in the village, but I've heard about stories like that when they have those generation event, you know,
Yes.
things in the village.
Yes.
Some of the women have gold that they bury in their houses, and they keep it there for the longest. They only bring it out one day. So that one day is something that they long for, that they wait forever. So the way I see it is for woman that has had a dream since she was a little girl, that on her special day,
Yes.
you know, she could have buried little flowers. Of course, flowers die.
Right.
But if possible, she could have buried all the flowers that she ever got her whole entire life and bring them out that day.
Okay.
You know, and that's why I believe that it's okay for people to spend as much money as they want on their wedding day.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a memory that is supposed to last a long time. I mean, forever.
Well, good. Well, I mean, hopefully that my husband, my future husband, will allow me to also spend. Oh, I don't know how I feel about spending. I just think it's too much. I think it's too much. But whenever we do, I wanted to also get a chance to speak to you about what are your next steps, and maybe if you could try to do my wedding. I don't know. But we'll be right back after these messages, and Grace and I will discuss my wedding. Maybe. Who knows? We'll be right back.
One Word TV, let your light shine.
We are still here with Graciously Yours. I got it right.
You did.
Graciously Yours. So Grace, I wanted to know what's the next step for Graciously Yours? Where are you go? Where do you want to take this? It just can't be decorations and event planning. What's that dream event that you want to plan besides my wedding, of course?
Okay, so the next steps, because there are a couple of steps.
Okay.
The next step is to really, you know, get it grounded and rooted and get nonstop activity is what we're looking for. You know, get more experience as we can, and of course, start branching it out. Eventually, I want to have a branch in my country.
Okay.
You know, and I want to get more. Give more of my time in little elements, because the event planning business is a very big one.
It's-
you know,
it's vague,
it's very vague. So there's a lot of room there for growth.
Right.
So my goal is to really tap into all those little areas, of course, and the one that I excel first.
Okay.
You know, and grow it out there.
Now, whenever you do bring this back home, of course, in Ivory Coast, will you start bringing some of these decorations back there, or that's good, that is good?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because the thing is, your inventory is what makes you you.
Right.
You know, that's what makes you you. So eventually, at some point, by then I have more inventory, and I will have to ship some home.
Okay.
Keep some here too.
Hopefully, we might see you in Congo.
Oh yes, Congo is not far from the Ivory Coast, so yes.
So definitely.
So yes.
So
yes.
what were some of the things that you would like to highlight for the upcoming? Because obviously, if you go on Instagram, everybody's doing weddings. Everybody's decorating. Everybody's, there's just the business has grown so much, which is great. Everybody's doing it. But what makes Graciously Yours stand out? One, and two, what are some key things that you can outline to some of those upcoming event planners? What are some things you can tell them?
So, Graciously Yours stand out by his name, first of all.
Of
and
course.
That's how we got our name. Because the inspiration came from the French word gracieusement, gracieusement votre, which is my name too, so I'm gracious.
Okay.
So our key is to really deliver gracious events, So we want to keep it classy, but yet fancy at the same time. And but the main thing I want to pinpoint to all those new people out there, like you say, is make this unique. Make this unique. Unless you're just there for the money and you just do like everybody else is doing, but have this be you. Let it represent yourself, because the clients are gonna come because of what they see in you. They won't come because of what you can do. They come because of what they see in you, and they believe that you can portray their vision.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
No, I truly believe that. It's very key that you say that, because I myself, besides this passion of mine that I do, being a show host, in my career, which is a job that I do, is I'm in human resources, and I tell a lot of people that you can have a resume that is full with years and years of talents and degrees and all, but I have a tendency to believe that a lot of people or managers hire people they like.
Yes.
The spirit that you carry, it kind of follows you. And as being Christians, that's also part of it, Now, I just want to ask this question, because we're talking about events, we're talking about not just wedding. I'm sure you do anniversaries, concerts. I'm sure you do a lot of things. But have you ever ruined someone's wedding? And I know this is tough, but have you ever got to where a bride was like, this is the worst day of my life?
So, thank God. Nope.
We're good. I'm glad.
It has never happened yet.
Yeah.
I dread the day that will ever happen. And of course, I know the importance of someone's wedding,
right?
Or even a birthday,
right?
So I put a lot of time, and I value my customers. So far I've never had it happen, but the key is really communication. So you talk, you let them know what you're gonna do, you show them what you're gonna do, so they kind of have an understanding of. Now, granted, if you do event, if you've ever been in any area of event planning, you know that there's a lot of things that go beyond of your control. That there's nothing you can do about it. So if something happened, like the cake break or something like that, I don't know,
Those scary stuff.
And actually, I have a quick story about that, as a matter of fact. So my last wedding, she had a 3-tier cake. It was a humongous cake. Well, the cake came late. And of course, we were already set up, everything was set. I was waiting for the cake the whole time, and of course it came late. So when we got the cake, the bride and groom were already ready to come out. So all the guests were seated. So there's no way we're carrying anything to the front. And she had a humongous room, so it's pretty much like almost a mile to where the cake was supposed to go.
Oh, wow.
So I decided that I was gonna go at it, because somebody had to do it, and the only way to really do it was to carry the cake. And I'm talking about 30 pounds, 20 some pounds, yes. And I was emceeing at a wedding too. So I was all dressed up and wearing heels. So there I go with a cake in my hand.
Goodness.
So, and I told everybody, I don't want anybody, because if you do events, to carry cakes, you have to have like a balance. So it's easier for one person to do it than two people, because you can keep your balance. And silence in the room, everybody's quiet. They're all praying. And I get that I don't drop it. Yes, and I'm praying myself. Like, I'm like, okay, this is my head on the block. If this falls, my career is done. My client is mad. The wedding is ruined. I mean, you name it. So I walk and I get close to the table. There was 3 stairs. When I get there, my feet start to shake a little bit, and I'm praying like, God, please don't let this happen. Lord, please. And I get the cake there and everybody's happy. And after that, I had a lot of people that came and was like, oh my God, that was so cool what you did. Oh my God. So that made me feel very good. And that made me know that I'll fight for my clients.
Okay.
I'll make sure that this day never happened.
I see.
I'll
All
make sure that
right.
this
Well,
thing never
I'm
happens.
glad you didn't drop the cake because where you were going with that, it wasn't. Well, I want to get to hear more about what you have going on, and then to just kind of know what are the special things that you add on that makes yours different, graciously different than everybody
different.
else. And we'll be right back after these messages.
One Word TV, let your light shine.
You're watching In Between, and we are here with Grace Seri, the owner of Graciously Yours.
There you
And
go.
I will keep saying it until
Until you get it right.
captured it into my head. So with Graciously Yours, I know we had a great time talking.
We did.
We kind of got a little idea about what you have going on and how you did not drop that cake. Because I was waiting for you to say, I dropped the cake. But what are your next steps? What's next for Graciously Yours? And do you plan to get away from the financing and taking this on full time? And if so, how would that go? And then also, what would you say to everyone out there? What should they remember and capture about Graciously Yours?
Okay, so my next steps, because there's a couple of steps. First of all, I want to get Graciously Yours grounded.
Okay.
You know, the word, like you said, I might be able to get out of the finance.
Yes.
I love it, don't get me
I like how you
wrong.
whispered that, though.
I love it, don't get me wrong, but of course I want to, you know, be in my passion, which is, you know, event planning. And, you know, going on from there, I want to start branching out, you know, taking it back home, of course. And, yeah, that's about it. And, of course, there's much more to event planning, just decoration and stuff like that.
Of course.
So I want to get it to where it becomes an empire, like you said, an empire. Yeah. So we branch out into all the little details that come. Of course, I'm going to start with those that I'm excelling in, because that's the only way I can really grow it, you know.
Yeah.
So one step at a time, but that's what we have in plan.
All right. So to your crowd, to your next bride, to your next event, what will you say to them? Why should we call Graciously Yours?
Okay, so well, you have to call Graciously Yours because Graciously Yours is unique. Uniqueness is what we strive for. Uniqueness, grace, abundance of grace, you know, in everything that we do. But more likely, just know that we will never let you down. And as long as our clients are happy, we're happy. So we'll fight for our clients to get what they want.
Amazing. Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, at In Between with Grace Seri, the owner of Graciously Yours. And next time when you come back, I'll give you guys updates about where she is. You never know. Maybe 2 years from now, maybe I'll come and tell you that she planned my wedding. It was great to have you here, Grace. And it was great to find out about what you have going on. And I encourage you to continue and flourish as much as you can. Thank you for coming to In Between, telling us about your In Between. And it was nice to have you guys sit with us and hear about what Grace has going on. Make sure you look her up if you're in Houston, Texas. Well, she says she travels, so she goes anywhere you want her, anywhere you need her. Make sure you look up Graciously Yours events, and she'll be able to come to you or call her. Thank you for being with us today, and you guys have a great day. If you want to be part of the show, make sure you subscribe, email, call us. And we'll see you guys next time on In Between. See you guys. Thank you, Grace, for being here. Thank you.